Hi friends, happy Tu B'Shvat. I wanted to jump on and share with you some teachings about this holiday that has special significance, especially for us earth-based, Kohenet-loving Jewish tribe. So I'm standing right now in my own little orchard where I have peaches, apples, pears, persimmons, and apricot trees. You probably couldn't tell right now because they all look kind of like twigs, but these are some of my orchard tree friends. So this holiday, Tu B'Shvat, is actually a fairly new holiday, especially when considering the age of some of our traditions. This holiday, in the form that we know it, was more or less created by the Kabbalists of the 16th century as a way to honor nature and as a way to commune with nature in their own special way. Yitzchak Luria of Safed created a Tu B'Shvat Seder that has 10 different kinds of fruits and nuts and 4 cups of wine, and each of these things, of course, as you can imagine, has very significant meaning. And the meaning is all about the different layers of consciousness and the different elements, and it's a very complex and involved and beautiful Seder. Now, of course, this being new doesn't mean that it's not based on something old. We can always assume that there's that connection. The Talmud lists Tu B'Shvat as the day when the age of the fruit-bearing trees was calculated for the tax year in ancient Israel. So this was enlivened and given so much new meaning by the Kabbalists. Now, in modern Israel, this holiday is celebrated as a kind of Earth Day. So it's a time to plant trees, and it's a time to commune with your favorite tree and to share stories about the connection that you have with your favorite pieces of nature. So one of the things I want to invite us to do is to share with the community what are some of the trees that you have a relationship with. Maybe you have one in your yard now, or maybe you had one growing up, and maybe you have a picture that you could share with our community. We'd love to gather together your stories about your favorite tree beings and put those out in our next newsletter. Also, drawing upon the significance from the Kabbalists, this is a time to commune with the idea of the tree of life. The tree of life is also symbolic of the Torah. So for some people, the Torah is symbolic of nature, and for some people, nature is symbolic of the Torah. And the sap flowing, the new sap flowing in the veins of the trees is the connection between nature and the divine. Okay, the movement of that divine presence throughout the cosmos. So it's a very, very beautiful symbol. Those of us also who want to take a moment to commune with fruit in a special way, there's a beautiful practice of reconnecting the sparks of your fruit, the various sparks of God that live within the fruit, and healing them and lifting them back up to their primordial essence through the act of eating. So as you take a bite of fruit on this holiday, you can imagine that you are uplifting nature back to its original perfection, the Garden of Eden, the wholeness that everything comes from. And this is a beautiful meditation practice, this sense that you are returning the food to its source through the act of eating it. There's also another beautiful practice, and there are many, but of receiving the divinity of the fruit, receiving the wisdom of the fruit through the act of eating it. So letting the fruit be your teacher. So if you engage in any of these practices, please let us know. We'd love to read about and to compile some of your experiences. And we wish you a happy and joyful and inspired mystical Tu B'Shvat.